The Louisiana State Capitol grounds are home to a new monument honoring African American veterans. Dignitaries unveiled the sculpture this week in a dedication ceremony attended by military trailblazers, including a Vietnam veteran and Southern University graduate who recently received a long overdue Medal of Honor.
Right, face, forward, watch.
The Louisiana Heritage Monument honors African American veterans who fought for our country throughout history. It's the first of its kind in the nation on state capitol grounds, honoring the overlooked contributions of Black military members.
Colonel Davis, we salute you this morning. We thank you for your service to our nation.
Retired Army Special Forces Colonel Paris Davis is in the audience, a Vietnam veteran, war hero, Southern University graduate, and recent recipient of a long overdue Medal of Honor for his bravery during a battle in June 1965.
But the big one was on the June the 15th, I think, and it lasted for almost 3 days, and we had three of our soldiers, Green Berets, that were wounded, and we were fighting almost a brigade of Viet Cong.
Colonel Davis defied orders to evacuate the battlefield. He refused to leave behind wounded Green Berets under his command, trapped by enemy fire.
You were nominated for a Medal of Honor, and in that process, you were told that the paperwork was lost. Do you believe that? And how did you feel about that?
Well, I really didn't have any feelings about it because at that time, we had been at a battle about 3 or 4 days before the information you just mentioned happened, and I had gotten shot 15 times.
Nearly 60 years later, Colonel Davis gets the phone call that validates his valor from President Joe Biden.
I remember that night, he called me and said, I've read everything that you've done, and all I want is a quick answer. He said, did it or didn't it? I said, it did. And he said, good night. And so that's how we started the conversation, and it didn't last more than 20 seconds.
On March 3rd, 2023, Colonel Paris Davis finally received his Medal of Honor from President Biden in a White House ceremony.
As a Medal of Honor recipient, do you feel validated and/or vindicated after all this time, finally getting this recognition?
I don't feel either. I feel relieved. It really doesn't go any further than that. And I say, ain't nothing higher than getting the Medal of Honor. And so I'm really happy that it happened. I don't know all the reasons why it didn't happen or the 50 years that it took to happen.
This year also marks the 75th anniversary of the desegregation of the U.S. military. The Louisiana Heritage Monument honors several notable contributions by African American troops, starting with the 1863 siege of Port Hudson, where 600 Black soldiers fought for the Union side. It was a turning point in the Civil War, allowing the Union to gain control of the Mississippi River. New Orleans artist Shailene Jones sculpted the likeness of 17 African American veterans in the face of the monument, all military trailblazers, much like Colonel Paris Davis, one of the first African American members of the Green Beret.
Do you see yourself as a trailblazer in the military in any sense?
Well, if we start with the president, he put that sort of on me, that being a trailblazer and all that. I never really felt that way. I felt that I wanted to be in Special Forces. They took the time to send me to a language school to speak Burmese. There were times when I was in charge of different elements, but I never felt that I was misplaced or underused.
On the day we met Colonel Paris Davis, he was visiting his alma mater, Southern University, where he studied political science on an ROTC scholarship. He graduated in 1959 with fond memories of the people and the place that shaped his character and inspired a taste for a certain South Louisiana dish.
So what were some of your fondest memories as a student here at Southern University?
Red beans and rice to start off with. And once I got past that, I wanted more red beans and rice. And after I finished my second half and helping, I went outside belch and see if I could eat some more, but it didn't quite work. So I just enjoyed Southern, had a great time there. The people, the professors and all that, just my cup of tea.
And now I think it's time for us to get a plate of that red beans and rice and say hello to some Southern University students.
That evening, Colonel Paris Davis was the guest of honor at a campus event in a full circle moment as Southern University proudly salutes one of its graduates for his bravery both breaking through racial barriers and on the battlefield.
I was able to command a Special Forces group, which I think is really a pleasure, and at the same time work on a PhD and get that. And so I've had a pretty full life.